All right, Adela.
Good. Let's start.
All right. So how have you been? How was today?
Good. It started with an emergency, but all taken care
Emergency at work?
at a facility.
So you have a lot of you have a ton of stuff going on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, so
yes.
Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so do I want me to start 10 years, 20 years ago?
Start when you were in Romania. How old were you
Okay,
when you were
so
in Romania and then you decided to come
I
here?
came here when I was 26, so pretty long time ago, about 15 years ago, 30, yeah.
Hey, just so you know that
Yeah.
it wasn't that long ago.
You know, that's fine. So yeah, it's funny because even in Romania, my plate was full. My brother, he told me, you like adrenaline. You like to, because you from Romania you went to America and you didn't have to stay there. You could have come back, but you chose to stay there. Then you worked for farmers. I got my insurance license, and you could just stay there like a customer service representative and just have a
Oh, so you worked for Farmers Insurance in Romania?
No, here,
okay.
here. And then, but he's like, no, you had to move up. And he's like, because you like adrenaline, you like to always be busy. So I came from Romania here because I was too busy in Romania. I was in my last year of law school, and I worked. I was involved with different volunteer for kids in jail and just counseling them and try to help them. So and I was going to school full time. So my day was from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. That's what I got home, then start studying because I had finals.
Well,
yeah.
One of the things that we talked about was excuses that people make for
Yes.
business, and it's and you know what, we always, there's books and CDs and there's people online talking about excuses and they're always blaming. That's one of the things we're talking about, blaming.
Right.
You don't get up in the morning. You need to quit making excuses. They're like demanding it.
Right.
Quit feeling sorry for yourself. But the problem is that it's not that they don't want to give excuses. It's that they can't recognize the excuses that they're giving.
Right.
They're so used to giving them, they
Right.
just can't recognize it.
That's a good point.
In your industry, I mean, do you deal with that a lot?
I do. When I see a person who makes excuses, who gives me an excuse, my very first thing is, watch out.
Right. Why am I hearing excuses? And I mean, this is the way I look at it. Well, what we said earlier, but it's everything that you say to either not do something,
Exactly.
that you didn't do something,
Exactly.
or that you're not doing it right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or you
Past,
don't- exactly.
present, future. Anything that you say is an excuse unless it's I'm doing it.
Exactly. And that's exactly true.
It's the Costco society.
Exactly.
I want everything, and not only do I not want to pay for it, but I deserve it.
Exactly.
But they haven't done anything for it.
Exactly.
I always consider it, there's two different types of excuses.
Mm-hmm.
There's an excuse to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and there's an excuse not to do something.
Absolutely.
Take a smoker, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Someone smoking cigarettes. I don't want to quit because I need a cigarette after I'm with my girl. I need a cigarette after I eat dinner. I need a cigarette instead of I don't need a cigarette because it's going to make me smell bad.
Right.
I don't need a cigarette because it's bad for me.
Exactly.
It's what excuse do you want to give at the time? Well, let's give some examples on
Right.
business excuses. Excuses that are in business. Like one that I would have would be, I'm not going out and handing out business cards because my business cards haven't come in yet. And it's like, well, I see that could be a reason you're not going out, but what's stopping you from going out and saying, hi, how's it going? My name's Jacob. I'm with House to Home Moving. Do you have a business card? Absolutely. Do you have one? I don't, but is it okay if I shoot you an email with my information?
Right. But when you deal with your clients and they trust you and they put their lives in your hands, that's when you should be very careful. Because sometimes for you it's just a job. At least for me, I got to the point where this is just a job, another emotion, another divorce, another trust. It's what I do every day. For them, it's the first one.
Right.
And this is their life, that they put their trust and their life in your hands. And sometimes you find excuses like, oh, I didn't get to do this, I didn't find this motion. And that's the decision you make. Am I gonna be honest and truthful and say, hey, I'm sorry, I just got too busy and I didn't do it? Or you wanna look good and say, hey, I was so busy, I did it, you didn't do it, but I did it, it's done, I just need one more thing to add to it. You didn't even start to.
Right. Well, I mean, well, that goes, okay, let's start there. That goes with trust.
Correct.
Okay, and it goes with who you are as a person, too.
That's exactly.
As a business professional. Now, a lot of business owners and a lot of business professionals, salespeople, whoever it is, they'll give excuses. Oh, I was running late because don't do it.
Yeah,
I
was
just
late.
tell them the
I'm
truth.
sorry I was late. That's it.
Right. I'm late. I apologize. Here I am.
Exactly. And if you are an honest person, you'll say, hey, I'm sorry.
I'm a human.
I'm a human.
And I slept in a little bit on
Exactly.
accident, and I apologize, but I'll try not to let it happen again.
Absolutely. And
or I don't know.
How do you feel when somebody tells you, hey, man, I'm sorry, I'm late. I just overslept. Here I am,
That's beautiful.
Or it says, oh my gosh, it was an accident. It was traffic. I had to,
Oh, yeah, I hate that. Look, traffic was there when I came to work. Can we talk about the foundation for a minute? You said build a foundation. I love that.
So yeah, having a strong foundation is the key to be successful.
Now, you say strong foundation, but can you explain a little bit? Because there's a lot of people that you say strong foundation, but sometimes that strong foundation is just you in the beginning. And then you're going,
I think it's all the time.
Yeah, it is all the
It
time.
starts with you, because every decision that you make will add to your foundation, or will make a hole in your foundation. If you build on not a very strong foundation, you're not going to last. Sometimes when you want to build on a strong foundation, you go slower, and sometimes you want to be fast, to get to there fast, to be millionaire in 2 years.
I mean, good luck.
Yes, and it might happen, but not the right way.
Right.
And you'll not appreciate it.
Well, you're going
and
to
it's
screw
not
over a
gonna
lot of
last.
people.
Right.
And if you're okay with that and you can sleep well at night over that, then...
That's the person you are.
But the people around you are going to know who you are.
Absolutely.
No matter what you...
So it's going to take a year, 2, 3, 4 years until everybody knows, and then... Because you need other people to grow your business. If I know that you are not an honest person or truthful person, you might fool me once or twice, but then I'm done. And then everybody will be done with you, and then...
Then you're scattering, looking for someone to believe what you're saying. No one does.
No one does, exactly.
Right. Surround yourself with the good people. But it's a lot easier said than done. They make it sound so simple. Get rid of your friends, get rid of your negative family. You know what I mean? And you're like, how am I supposed to do that? That's impossible. But what they're really trying to say is, and it's the foundation thing, you build a foundation, you have this idea,
Exactly.
you're building this idea like a building.
Exactly.
And everyone that's around you that says, I don't know if you can do that. That sounds too expensive. I'm sure there's too many laws for that. I'm sure whatever it is against it, subconsciously take a brick out of that building until either you're strong enough to go, I'm going to make it happen and I'm not listening to you anymore.
Right.
Or the building falls apart and you don't do what you want to do. How many friends and business associates have you lost because of your drive for success?
A lot. I lost a lot of friends because we did not share the same, how do you call, the same way of achieving something.
Like your drive?
Yes. So I like to, for example, I like to keep my integrity, and that's something you need to work every day. It's a choice that you make, and in the beginning you have that little voice that says don't do it, and you could say I'm gonna still do it because I want it, or you can say, hey, I'm not gonna do it. It hurts, but I'm not gonna do it. In the long run, it's the best decision. Short decision will be do it. And because of this, I lost a lot of friends and attorneys that I worked with because we didn't share the same thing. I'm not saying they're bad, just we didn't share the same
Right,
same
you went on
vision.
different paths.
That's
you didn't share
true.
the same business. You wanted it. You had to go towards it. You had to go
For
for
me,
it.
it was important to build my practice and to build it on the strong foundation. What's important for me is I build a strong foundation. I build my practice and my business not for a day or two. I build it for a life.
Absolutely.
So I want people when they have my business card and they say, oh, she's a good person, I'll go to her, or they'll refer others to go to her, you can trust her.
She's a straight shooter.
Exactly.
She's going to tell you exactly what you need to know. She's not going to BS it around.
Exactly. For me, that is important. Not the money. I mean, I was talking to somebody what success means for different people, because success could mean different things for everybody.
Absolutely.
For me, success is not an account full of money. It's good, but that's not success. Success is what people are saying about you, how people see you, what did you do for them, how did you accomplish that, how trustworthy are you, and truthful, and that's what's important. When at the end of your life, when people think about you and they say good person, or they refer people to you, or like you said, it's a straight shooter, go to her, that's success.
At the end of the day, no matter what happens, they can't say something negative about
Exactly.
you. And if they do say something negative about you, they have to go, well, she did make it up because
Exactly.
at the end of it,
Exactly.
I was happy.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, we are not perfect. I'm doing my best to be the best person, and I steal myself sometimes. And a lot of times.
We will for the rest of our lives.
Right. And that's why I'm very responsible, because it's not only their money, it's their time. And
And in your case, their emotions,
exactly.
their what they bring home with them after they
Exactly.
leave your office,
Exactly.
all that. And it kills me when people are scared. Well, I don't want to do that because I don't know what it's in it. Who cares?
Who cares?
What are you going to lose? A day?
Right.
Who cares?
Exactly.
I've sat in bed all day before.
Right.
So going out and trying something
Exactly.
and who cares if you fail? But I think a huge thing is what they think people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
I caught myself thinking about what I was, being against myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that. You have to just say, I'm going to go for it.
Right.
I'm just going to try it.
Exactly.
And if you fail, then you learn from it and you gain experience.
Exactly.
And then one day people are like, oh my God, you're a great speaker, you're a great talker, you know so much about business. Well,
I learned.
because I spent the last 15 years
Right.
going through the grinder.
And it was not easy. And some people, they don't want to go through it. They will never ever get to be successful people, because this is a choice. If you want to be successful, it comes with some responsibility, some work, some humility, even though we don't like it, but you have to have it. And that's how you build yourself pretty much for it.
You're so right. You're right. It is. It's always you. You are always the foundation. That's the hardest part.
That's why when you start, you have to know, you study yourself. Even when you have a relationship, you study the other. Even in a war, you are in a war, and I learned this in history. You study your enemy. If you want to win the battle, you study your enemy,
Right.
You study the strengths, you study the weaknesses, and that's how you win. The same with the business. You have to know yourself. You study who you are. You know I'm good here, and be honest and be sincere with yourself. I'm not good in this area.
Right.
And let's not reinvent the wheel. What do? I'll get the person who has that. And that helps with your humbleness. Like you might become arrogant if you think you are good at everything. You don't need anybody. You treat everybody.
Well, first of all, you're not good at everything.
You are not, but you might think. There are people who think they know everything.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
If you just do it right the first time, don't cut corners, don't make excuses, get in there, do the job you said you were going to do, how you were going to do it, with the tools you said you were going to do it, because that's what you said.
And you don't have to do it alone.
Right.
You do need people. And one of my experience is when I worked in an office, I brought everything I had. This is who I am. This is what I have. I'll put it on the table and let's use it. It's like a potluck. Everybody brings what they have. Now, because the person who was in charge, everything started to go smooth and the business was growing. They forgot I got here because I had people who supported me, and they
Right.
took all the credit, and they're like, it's me. So
That happens though, all the time. And you know
Right.
what? People don't question it. They don't go, how did you get that $5 million jet? He's like, because I'm the greatest.
No.
It's because your entire team below you
yes,
pushed you there.
absolutely.
I mean, sure,
So,
you led it,
yes,
you led
and
it,
yes,
but
you
they were
chose
professionals.
right. So they gave you their best.
Right.
You used their best to get where you are. So give them some credit.
How do you
Don't
get those
take it.
people?
You know that's
How do you get those people?
that's a good question.
Because every business
When you-
owner, the biggest thing to me, I'm sorry.
Right, no, that's it.
Every business owner comes up to me, they ask me the same question. Where do you get good guys?
well,
Where do you
know,
get good people that will be in your business to take care of you
let me
and
tell
actually
let me tell you
want to
something.
succeed?
I think it's easy to find a person, but the secret is how do you keep them? Because you know, if you appreciate a person, if you invest in them, if they feel that you are not using them, they are giving you the best. That's how you find a good person. But if you hire somebody and you treat them like your employees below and treat maybe slave is a little harsh word, but pretty much like you are here to work for me, to do what I say, to take my orders and all this. Guess what? They are gonna give you the least amount
Right.
to keep their job. But
Because
if-
they don't even like showing up to work.
Correct.
They wake up and they're like, why am I going
Correct.
to work again?
So as a business owner, you bring the best in them, and I'm not saying there are people who you bring the best, or you just let them give you the least amount to keep their job. Now,
You
this
just taught me
topic-
something.
Oh, thank you.
You just gave me a whole new outlook on looking at things. Because it's not about
No, no.
it's not about everyone's focus, including myself.
I need to
I'm
find the
focused on
good-
finding the good employee, but the point
Get
is
the
that
best.
all of them
in-
can be good.
Exactly.
You just
Bring
have
the
to be
best
there.
in them. That's I learned you bring the best or the worst in your employees. Now I don't get me wrong, there are people who doesn't matter how much you invest in them, they are not good material. You cannot work with them. Then I would suggest get rid of them as soon as possible. Stop the bleeding.
Thank you, Adela, for being
Absolutely.
on Working Class Heroes.
Absolutely.
Your time is awesome. I love this segment. Would you like to tell everybody one more time who you work for and everything?
Yes, I have my own law practice, and I specialize in trust and probate. So many people have no idea the difference between a will and a trust. Why do you need a trust? And why do you go to probate if you don't have a trust? So I'll be glad to talk to whoever has questions, and maybe you will have my phone number, or somehow. And even if it's just a question, I like to educate people in this area. They don't have to do a trust with me, but at least if they have questions, I'm gladly will talk to them and just answer the questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you. Need people around you. And before you start, you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. So I know I'm good.
It's gonna be useless with that banging.
Oh, I wasn't even hearing the banging. I was so
Me neither.
listening. That's so funny.
Is it okay if I hold the cup?
I don't care.